I do welcome you to Bible Times, and I'm Willard Pless, and we're here to bring the Bible to reality. Seem like people have a problem of bringing the Bible to reality. They can't seem to connect what the Bible's talking about to what's going on in the world. But we want to bring it to reality because the Bible gives exactly what's going on in this world. It don't give every detail, but it gives the important things that we need to look at and see. So today I want to talk about the second coming of Jesus. We know we're getting close for his return. We're in the end time days, and the signs are being fulfilled, and things are happening, and we want to know where we are in Bible time and what's going on. Now, let me talk a little bit about this. I don't know if you can understand this, but anyway, let's talk about it a little bit. When we talk about Jesus's first coming, when he came born as a baby, we learn that in the scriptures. And when we look at Abraham coming into the land, when he came and Israel was born, and then Jesus came to him the first time. He came to Israel as a baby. And what happened then is when Abraham got in the land, he was 75 years old. And he spent 24 years walking in the flesh, not really listening to God and paying attention. And we know that Ishmael was born during that time and so forth. But when Abraham came to be 99 years old, that God came to him and gave him the law of circumcision. And when Abraham done the circumcision, and then 1 year later, Isaac was born. See, Isaac couldn't have been born until Abraham was willing to lay the flesh away. That's what circumcision meant. Cutting off the foreskin and throwing the flesh away, and then Isaac could be born. And when Isaac was born, see, that was a type of Jesus' first coming, because of Isaac was taken up on the mountain there to be crucified. So this was a type of Jesus' first coming, when he came to this world as a baby. But what about his second coming here? What is it a type of? Well, to learn the type here, we have to look at Jacob. That Jacob left Israel. He met God there at Bethel. Then he went off to Haran and spent, as we look at it, about 24 years. And he came back. God told him to come back in the land, and he came to the border. And God met him there and wrestled with him, and actually told him, you can't bring Jacob back in here. You gotta leave Jacob out here. You got to come in as Israel. And when Jacob got into the land, he came in as Israel. God blessed him and brought him on into the land. And then it looks like about a year later that Benjamin was born. Now, I know this is something kind of hard to figure out, but we're kind of looking at the time frame here. And when Benjamin was born, course, we know that Rachel died giving birth to Benjamin. But we learn that Benjamin became a great warrior. And this is a type of Jesus that's coming this time. When Jesus comes this time, he's going to return as a great warrior. He's going to come riding the white horse and the army with him. And he's going to enter Jerusalem through the eastern gate. He's going to meet with 144,000 Jews that he's chosen, that he's going to meet with them there on Mount Zion. And then he's going to take down the beast and the false prophet and cast them into the fire. He's going to take the army and those that have flooded Jerusalem and put them in the winepress of God, and the blood will flow to the horse's bridle. And see, he's going to return as a great warrior, and he's coming to clean up this world, to take down the evil part of the world and send it to fire. And then he's going to set up the 7th millennium. And he'll be sitting on the throne, and the saints will be ruling during the 7th millennium, controlling the world during the 7th millennium. And see, Peter kindly pointed all this out in 2 Peter chapter 2. He talked about one day as being 1,000 years, and 1,000 years being as one day. So he's pointing out the fact that each day of creation meant 1,000 years for this world. And see, he created the world in 6 days. And we're in the 6th millennial now. And this millennial is going to be shortened because of the evil world. And Jesus talked about that in Matthew 24. He said that, talking about the abomination of desolation. And see, that's going to come after November the 22nd. Here in 2025, this is going to develop, because after November the 22nd, that President Trump's going to be cut off. Israel's going to cut him off, and they're going to flood Jerusalem just like they flooded Capitol Hill, and that'll look like the time frame is going to be around January the 6th for the flooding of Jerusalem to come about. And this is the abomination and desolation that Daniel talked about in chapter 9. And Daniel gave the first time that the Messiah, the Prince, would show up, and this is talking about the beasts, of course, and we know that this is President Trump here, and this thing is taking place, and this is all going to come to the climax. Now you might say, well, when is the resurrection going to take place? Well, see, it's going to take place at the time of the set time for the marriage supper of the Lamb. And you might say, well, what time is that going to be? It's going to be between October and January. The the resurrection will take place, and the ones that are resurrected will be meeting there in heaven to take part in the marriage supper of the Lamb. And then when that's done, that's when Jesus comes all the way to this earth. And we learn that the church is not the bride of Jesus. We know that New Jerusalem is the bride of Jesus. And we learn that in Revelation chapter 21, that the New Jerusalem and that takes place in heaven, and then Jesus comes to earth and he cleanses this world and he sets up the seventh millennial. And then after the seventh millennial, after Satan is released and he goes out and gathers another army, and then he's taken and cast into the fire. And the army is destroyed by fire coming down from heaven. And then we learn there's going to be a new heaven, new earth, new Jerusalem. See, we're going to live on the new earth. Now, we won't have the same flesh body we got now. We'll have another flesh body, and Paul talked about that in his writing to the church of Corinth in chapter 15, that you can go there and read about what he said about that. But we're going to have another flesh body. It won't be like the one we got now, because this flesh body, with Satan's encouragement, turned to walk with self, to walk with the flesh. And that's what the tree of knowledge and good and evil represented. So we want to realize what's really and truly going on. And we want to look at this time frame. And the Bible says we can know the time and the season, but we can't know the day or the hour when Jesus will return. So don't get all upset when talk about being able to understand the time and the season. But we're getting into the time and the season here now. This year, this is going to come to the climax. And it looks like everything will continue until April. See, April is the Bible calendar. That's the month of Nisan. And so we realize that a year with Abraham before Isaac was born, and looks like as a year with Jacob coming in back into the land, and when Benjamin was born. And these two things give the type of Jesus' coming. And so this is what we want to point out and talk about, and we know that that the generation ended on May the 14th here in 2025, but it's been extended. And this is the time of it being extended for these things to come to the max. So you need to see and understand what's going on. And you need to call on Jesus, talk to him. And if you're caught up with the beast and this Babylon that the Bible talks about here, you can come out if you call on Jesus and talk to him, and he can help you come out. And I hope you do that. And be sure and ask Jesus in your heart, ask him to forgive you, and be willing to lay the flesh away and He'll give you the Spirit, and you can begin to walk with Him and begin to see and understand what's going on. And I hope you'll do that and stay with us on these studies. And God bless you, and you have a great day.